going on, broskies? It is Lupus, and in today's video I'd like to quickly talk to you guys about the possibility of standard first-person shooters such as Battlefield and Call of Duty dying off in the future. Before I get into that, I'd like to quickly say a big, massive thank you to Hornadal, who is a good friend of mine that I met on Mumble, who made my new intro that you saw at the beginning of this video. It's the intro I'm going to be using from now on until I ever decide to get a new one. But this intro I can have him edit whenever I want, and I can just get a lot of things done if I ever need anything changed on it. And I really love the intro. I wanted to keep it close to home, very similar to my previous one, but at the same time bring something fresh and new to the table. So I hope you guys did like that. Now on to the topic I was going to talk to you guys about. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking this has been talked about for years and it doesn't seem like it's going to happen anytime soon. And I completely agree with that. I do not see Battlefield or Call of Duty dying off in the foreseeable future at this point. And I don't really blame it because they are both very well-made franchises that have gathered a massive fan base over the years and have no reason to really die off. However, the games are becoming less and less exciting, it seems. Battlefield has been keeping it fresh for a while, but just recently Battlefield has kind of flopped. And Call of Duty has been at this state for a while now, and honestly, I don't think the series are dying off, but they are not the source of attraction and excitement at E3 and events like that anymore. A lot of people went and saw E3 and were more excited for games such as Rainbow Six Siege, Destiny, The Division. Even the new Assassin's Creed is still gaining a lot of people looking at it because of the advancements that it is making. However, Battlefield and Call of Duty this year have not really gotten much love, and the reason behind that is because of what has been happening in the past. Call of Duty has had a much longer streak of bad games in a lot of people's eyes, starting with Modern Warfare 3. Black Ops 2 wasn't that bad. A lot of people still enjoy that game. I know personally myself, I didn't think that game was that bad, but Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, and Call of Duty Ghosts are all just kind of bland. They aren't introducing anything new. However, at E3 this year, Call of Duty actually did do something different. It looks like they introduced a new engine in who knows how long. And a lot of people didn't even pay attention to that because of the hole that they have dug themselves. Battlefield is starting to get in a very similar situation. When it came up to Battlefield 4 looked like it was going to be a massive improvement. Everybody was super excited for it. They thought it was going to be Battlefield 3, but with better graphics, Levolution, and all this new stuff that was going to make the game even more fun. However, when Battlefield 4 came out, the realization of the horrible netcode, the rubber banding, all this stuff kind of bombarded us and ruined the game for a lot of people. A lot of people, even if the game does get fixed fully, which it is pretty close with the new CTE patches, people are not going to forgive what has already happened to them because they spent $60. Some people, including myself, way more than that. I've bought the game on 3 different platforms and bought premium on 2. So I've spent quite a bit of money on this game, mainly because of my YouTube channel, but at the same time because I was hoping that the game would get fixed, and it's definitely been a bite in the ass for them to not fix any of it. Now, with Battlefield Hardline coming out, a lot of people were hoping to see something new Battlefield that's fresh, that looked better, that made things even better. But what we got was Hardline. And while, in my personal opinion, I think Hardline is a great game, I have a lot of fun playing it. I feel like the registration is way better, the driving is fun, everything that they added to the game just makes Battlefield Hardline one of those shits and giggles types of games, but at the same time, it's not big enough. It's not a big change from Battlefield 4. After seeing the change from Battlefield 3 to Battlefield 4 visually and everything that they offered us seemed like a big deal, getting what we got was not what we wanted. And with Battlefield Hardline being very, very, very similar to Battlefield 4, a lot of people are disappointed by that, and we're seeing what looks like a trending Call of Duty thing. Call of Duty looks the same practically every year up until what looks like Advanced Warfare, and we don't want to see that happen to Battlefield. Another reason I think that these first-person shooters are kind of dying off is because they're very basic. A lot of people like that about them. They like the simplicity of Call of Duty and they like the simplicity of Battlefield. And every time they add something stupid to the game that just kind of ruins the simplicity of it, people get upset. And if you don't know what the simplicity of it is, it's basically where you have 2 teams pitted against each other with some sort of objective, but mostly you're just trying to kill the enemy players. Both Battlefield and Call of Duty have that in common, and they're pretty much, for the most part, the same in that area. Now there's all kinds of new first-person shooters and new games in general coming in with these new revolutionary ideas that are going to change what we are used to when it comes to video games. Eventually, that sort of first-person shooter that we see in Battlefield and Call of Duty is going to die off. Whether Call of Duty and Battlefield adapt to the reality of it and change what they're doing, or if they just die off with the trend, that will be something we have to see in the future. But there's all these new games. For example, in the first-person shooter category, we do have Rainbow Six Siege and we have Destiny, which are two of the biggest that I've seen thus far, as well as Far Cry 4. All of these games introduce things that are much different from Battlefield 4 and Call of Duty. Rainbow Six is kind of close to that, where you have two teams pitted against each other, but it's really small teams and a very strategic game, and that's what makes it very different. It's not just all warfare where they're shooting at each other and trying to get kills. There's kind of a strategy to going about it, and if you die, you die. It's almost like an entire game of search and destroy from Call of Duty, because you don't respawn and you can possibly get revived, but it's a very strategic first-person shooter which separates it from those games. Destiny is a massive open world MMO game where you play with thousands of people and have a blast playing it, and it's just really amazing. It's something never before really conceived until Destiny, and that's what makes it stand out. And then you have Far Cry 4, which, much like Far Cry 3, is a massive open world game where you just go throughout an amazing story with visuals that astound anybody, and Far Cry 4 is definitely going to be something different. However, these previous games, Battlefield and Call of Duty, are just slowly getting covered up by all these amazing titles. We also have other games besides the first-person shooter genre, such as The Division, which looks visually amazing. Everybody looks at graphics when it comes to video games. You guys may not think you do, but that is the first thing that comes to your mind. While a lot of people do like to find games that have better gameplay aspects than the visuals themselves, the first thing that hits you when looking at a game is visuals, and The Division is visually astounding. At the same time, the gameplay ideas and the dynamic nature of the game makes it stand out among everything else as well. And there's all kinds of games that we have seen at E3 this year that just improve and make things better and better and better, and kind of overshadow Battlefield and Call of Duty at this point. So what do you guys think? Do you think that the standard first-person shooters such as Battlefield and Call of Duty are dying off? Or do you think that they're still going to stay around for several more years? I would like to hear that in the comment section down below. That has been all for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll love to hear your opinions in the comment section down below, as I said. But as always, this has been Lupus, and I will catch you guys in the next one.